Hi, I'm Stephanie and I'm from the ADHD Advocate, and we are now in week 3 of our ADHD Awareness Month. And I have Eleni, one of our coaches, our parent coach here, to speak about making your passion your profession.
Yes,
So,
that's something we certainly can relate to and sort of struggle with, maybe goals that we have personally or professionally, kind of balancing that with our unique brain type, which is always going to be fueled by authentic interest, as we know. We are really good at getting lost in things that might not be directly related to what it is that we're meant to be doing, but that is all part of the brain type that we have.
Yeah, it's we do definitely find this in coaching, Eleni, that it can be really hard for ADHDers, firstly, to know what they actually want to do, because there are so many choices and we get bored easily. We have a fear of losing interest.
Yes.
And so it's very hard to filter it down to one thing. And we feel the pressure that we need to choose one thing. But as we know, it's we don't have to choose the one thing. We can follow a few of our passions.
Yes. But I think, Stephanie, you raise a really good point. It's sort of walking a very fine line to narrow it down to a couple of things that we believe that we are interested in, and managing that with the prospect of what those are and what it would take to actually pursue any of those. I'm talking about overwhelm, which I'm sure I know I've struggled with that, to be really interested, but maybe after a couple of weeks, my interest wanes, or worse than that, I never get the ball rolling. So that's a very sort of tricky thing to do, but certainly what we've seen, and I've seen with my clients, where coaching, one-to-one coaching, can really help.
Yeah, massively. Again, the theme this month being interdependence, not independence. And what we see in coaching, and we know personally that we do get in our own way. We do get distracted very easily. There are too many bright, shiny things that capture our attention, preventing us from really kind of focusing and moving ourselves forward toward that vision that we often don't have until we get clear, which we do through coaching as well. But having someone to help us hold that focus and also believe in us, because quite often, like you were saying, Eleni, we don't trust ourselves. We fear that we will lose interest. If we start something, we'll lose interest and that will be a failure.
Yes. And something else that can often happen, and I've seen, is that we don't maintain our boundaries. And as ADHDers, we are often very anxious to people please, and we often take on tasks that might not be related to what it is that we're doing, and that too can help us, or is another reason why we often can get off track. So bearing in mind the hyper focus, but also tempered with the fact that our brains are always going to go to where it's most interesting, and that can also conflict with the boundaries that look like deadlines at work that can sometimes go out the window.
Yeah, it's what we try to do and help through coaching. It's finding that balance, which again, very elusive for us ADHDs, and all look different to from ADHD to ADHD. But what's important is finding out what you want to do and being able to leverage your strengths, because we know with that interest-based nervous system, that's when our ADHD is best managed, and indeed the strengths channeled into helping us fulfill our potential, but then getting us out of our own way, because obviously we're very interested in the thing. So we will tend to get hyper focused, and quite often we see this does affect things like family life. This then gets tension, within the family home. So then you've got another issue to deal with. So it's a bit of a balance that is not easy to strike yourself.
Yes, you've touched on a lot of things there, Stephanie. I think some topics for later on this week as well, but certainly some things that we can look at as they relate to ADHD at work.
Yeah, so what we're going to do in the comment section, in ADHD Unlocked, actually, the membership community, we've done, I think, 2 weeks on this topic in terms of choosing the career for you, getting clear on what kind of career pathway would be suitable for you, and generally what careers suit ADHDers. And then in terms of helping you get out of your own way, definitely this is something that us ADHD coaches do, and it's usually very well received. And this is how we get you to fulfill your potential. So we will provide the link to our website. Do feel free to book an intro call with us, one of our coaches.
Yes, well said. Well said.
And tomorrow, I think, join us for managing rejection-sensitive dysphoria, overwhelm, and anxiety, particularly in the context of the workplace. So I think that will be hosted by Holly and Juliet tomorrow.
Yes, very, very timely topics, and certainly ones that we see quite a lot of that manifest in the workplace in all kinds of ways. So please do join us tomorrow.
Thanks, Eleni.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.